Alright, ladies, I'm back for part two. I guess ladies and gentlemen. So I'm back for part two. I was showing you my big can of Gamsol, and then this is my bag of nibs and sharpener, like files to sharpen. And then I pour my big can of Gamsol into this little bottle, so it's a little easier to manage. And then my next thing is my Score Pal. I use it all the time. I have the mat that goes with the Score Pal too. This is the case that it comes with. But I have the mat. I work on the mat all the time, and I use the scorer to score all my cards. And I guess the next thing, something else that goes with that, I got really into buying the 8.5 by 11 cardstock to cut my own card bases. And instead of cutting across the hamburger way, I cut up and down the hot dog way, so that I have a different type of fold than just your standard A2 size cards. So I really like doing that. They kind of opened up lots of possibilities for me. So I like it a lot. And then my next is adhesive. I don't know where my ATG gun is right now, but I love that thing, especially when I'm doing big projects, because I don't have to keep refilling and refilling and refilling. So the next thing is Score tape. I found Score tape in 2011. It is amazing. I will never live without this again. This is the 1/2 inch, and what's great about it is there's different widths for different types of projects, and I have all the widths, and I'm not kidding. I would not live without this stuff. It's pretty awesome. And then also, I can't live without my dimensional adhesive. Love it, love it, love it. This is the kind you get in the hardware section, because you get more for a cheaper price. And the bonus is that it's a little thinner than the kind you get in the scrapbook section. So if you're putting something through the mail, it's more likely to actually get through the mail. Another thing that I absolutely loved in 2011, or found a new love for, is my glossy accents. And then my very favorite is Stickles ever, the Stardust, because it's rainbow. I think it's beautiful. And then my glossy accents, because if I'm working on a stamp and they have Mary Jane's on, the little girl has Mary Jane's on, I like to make them shiny. So I love those. I also found a love for 6x6 paper. And I just had this one out. I really like this love collection from Fancy Pants. It is so darn cute. So I found a love this year for my 6x6 paper pads. And in fact, the whole year, I think I probably only bought maybe 4 12x12s. Because by the time you cut it down for cards, and I'm primarily a card maker, by the time you cut it down for cards, you can't even tell what the design is anyway. So I found a huge love for my 6x6 pads, because I usually do smaller projects. I also fell in love with Baker's twine. This is what I had out. This is the Valentine Doodle twine that just came out, but I have it in many different colors. I've ordered from Etsy. I have all the packs of doodle twine like this. I have the specialty kind, like the Christmas kind that had the 3 colors. I love it, and it adds so much to projects. And then here's my box of goodies. For adhesives, again, I really like the Mono Multi for paper piecing. Found that in 2011. And then my favorite scissors are the Cutter Bee for fussy cutting. Love that a lot. And then 2 things I would not want to live without are my Copic multi-liner for when you stamp and you don't get the whole image. You can go back in and draw the lines because it's a super fine tip. And then the other thing that is Copic, is it in here? There it is my Copic brush tip, because after I fussy cut something, I go around the edges with this so you don't see the white core, and I think it just leaves a more professional look. Also, my very favorite gel pen that I've ever had that's white is the Sunburst by Pentel Art, and you don't get this in the scrapbook section, you get this in the art section next to the colored pencils. Best white gel pens I've ever had. And for a while they were selling these at Target too. Okay. The other thing that I love pen-wise is my silver leafing pen by Krylon. I also edge things with this as well. If you saw my card yesterday, the one with the little birdie, I outlined the die cut in this. And it's easy to work with. I really like it. I have it in gold too. I'm not much of a gold person. I use the silver more often, but the gold was great for like Christmassy things with red and green gold. Another thing that I fell in love with in 2011 are Recollections and Prima flowers. Not something I had used previously, but really got into it. A nice accent on cards and other projects. And then the last thing, let me check. Is it the last thing? I think it is. The last thing I'm going to share with you. I found it in December 2011, so I don't know if it really counts because it was at the end of 2011. But, oh no, time out. I'm going to come back to that. Scratch, rewind. Two inks that I love. I love the Memento for doing my stamped images and then coloring them. And then my other favorite love is the Jenny Bolin inks. And I have them all except for those three new ones, the gray one, the purple one, and the Robin Zig one. But I have all the other ones. This Spice Tin is my favorite color, but I really like these Jenny Bolin ink pads. They're so great. And I loved this Memento so much that I started buying other colors in 2012. Okay, so back to the last thing. And I did find them in December, so I don't know if it counts, December 2011, but it's 2011 nonetheless, and it's definitely something that right now I'm in love with, and that is Paper Tray ink. And I'm going to show you some of the things I love from Paper Tray ink. I love their buttons. This is the spring pack. And what started it all off with me buying Paper Tray ink is this Christmas button bits, or the holiday button bits, where you stamp the image and then there's a spot to put buttons. Like this one is ornaments, and you put the buttons as the ornaments. I think this is fabulous. On the gingerbread man, you put the buttons here on him. On the present, you stamp this on whatever shape you want, and then it turns it into a present. You put the button in the middle of the bow. Fabulous stamp set, along with some really, really, really great sentiments. So this is really kind of what started it all. I had to have this. And then, after the ball started rolling, I had to have this as well, and it's the Tiny Treats Christmas. And because I loved the Tiny Treats Christmas so much, I now have all the Tiny Treats sets. And they're amazing. I love them. I had to have this set for the Nutcracker. Isn't he so cute? He's amazing. And then I really liked this one too. The ornament on the little branches, and they're so cute, and they make the cutest 3x3 cards. They really do. And then not only do I love their stamps and their buttons, I use their coasters all the time because they add dimension to cards. And then not only do they have the stamps, they have the dies that go with them, which is amazing. I also have my favorite things dies, which are also way cool. And this is how I've been storing them too, just like my spellbinders. So I just love that option to be able to cut out the shape and not have to fussy cut it. I really like that option. So most of them are Paper Tray ink. These right here are my favorite things, and these banners are my favorite things. And I'm really thinking about getting the pennants. But so those are my top, I don't even know how many that was. These are my top favorites from 2011. And going into 2012, I still use these things almost every day when I'm crafting. So I have a mess to clean up now. So thank you for sticking through 2 parts. I appreciate it. And I will see you in the next video. Bye.